My $350K home was family property, according to my parents. 79 missed calls later, I snapped. I never thought the words, family property, would be used to steal from me. But that's exactly what my parents called my house. The one I bought alone, with my name on the deed, with years of sacrifice baked into every wall. They said it casually, comfortably, as if I hadn't worked myself half to death to own it. And they said it behind my back. I found out on a Tuesday afternoon. After 79 missed calls. Chapter 1, the house I bled for. I bought my home at 32. A modest but beautiful 3-bedroom suburban house just outside Dallas. White siding, blue shutters, a maple tree in the front yard that turned red every fall. Price, $350,000. To my parents, that number meant nothing. To me, it meant everything. It meant working 2 jobs through my 20s, living in studio apartments with paper-thin walls, saying no to vacations, weddings, brunches, paying off student loans instead of buying nice clothes. I was the boring daughter. My sister, Ashley, was the exciting one. Ashley married young, married loud, married wrong, but my parents never saw it that way. Her husband, Mark, hopped between business ideas like stepping stones. A failed food truck, a crypto consulting gig, a drop-shipping store that never shipped. Every time he failed, my parents said, "He's just finding himself." When I struggled, they said, "You're too independent, you don't need help." So I stopped asking. And I built a life alone. When I finally held the keys to my house, I cried in the empty living room, sitting on the floor, eating pizza from the box, feeling something I had never felt before. Safe. Chapter 2, the call that started everything. It started with one voicemail from my mother. "Sweetheart, call me back, it's important." Then another. And another. By the time I checked my phone after a work meeting, I had 32 missed calls from Mom, 19 from Dad, 28 from Ashley, 79 missed calls. My stomach dropped. I called my mom back immediately. She answered on the first ring. "Oh, thank God," she said. "We were so worried." "Worried about what?" I asked. There was a pause. Then she said the sentence that changed everything. "Well, your sister's family needs somewhere to stay." I leaned against my kitchen counter. What happened now? Another pause. Mark's latest business had collapsed. They were behind on rent. The landlord wasn't renewing the lease. "They have 2 kids," my mother added quickly, as if that settled everything. "I know," I said carefully, "but what does this have to do with me?" My dad's voice came on the line. "We talked it over as a family," he said. My heart started pounding. "And we agreed your house makes the most sense." Chapter 3, family property. I laughed. Actually laughed. "You mean for a few days?" I asked. "Like guest room?" "No," my dad said. "Longer term." I felt cold. "How long term?" "Well," my mom said gently, "until they get back on their feet." I pictured my quiet mornings, my home office, my peace. "Absolutely not," I said. Silence. Then Ashley's voice burst through the speaker. "You're being selfish," she snapped. "It's not like you need all that space." "I live here," I said. "I bought this house." "That doesn't mean it's not family property," my mom said. There it was. Family property. I felt something crack inside my chest. "My name is on the deed," I said slowly. "But we're your parents," my dad replied. "We raised you." I realized something terrifying in that moment. They weren't asking. They had already decided. Chapter 4, the plan I was never meant to know. I found out the full plan from my cousin, Rachel, later that night. She texted me. "Did you know they already told Ashley she can move in?" My hands shook. "What?" I typed. "They said you'd calm down eventually. They're planning to move them in this weekend." I sat on my couch in shock. They had measured rooms, discussed school districts, decided Ashley would get the master bedroom. In my house. Without my consent. I didn't sleep that night. I walked from room to room, touching walls, remembering every sacrifice. And something inside me hardened. Chapter 5. The boundary they ignored. The next morning, I sent one message to the family group chat. No one is moving into my house. This is not up for discussion. Within seconds, my phone exploded. My mom. You're tearing this family apart. My dad. After all we've done for you. Ashley. Wow, I never thought you'd abandon your own blood. I didn't respond. Instead, I called a lawyer. Chapter 6. Preparing for war. The lawyer confirmed what I already knew. The house was mine. No legal claim, no loopholes. But he warned me. Family situations get ugly, he said. Protect yourself. So I did. I changed all locks, installed security cameras, saved all messages, sent a formal cease and desist notice. When the letter arrived at my parents' house, all hell broke loose. My mom showed up at my door crying. You're embarrassing us, she said. You embarrassed yourselves, I replied. Chapter 7. The attempted move-in. They tried anyway. Saturday morning, 2 cars pulled into my driveway. Ashley, Mark, a U-Haul. I watched from inside as they unloaded boxes. I didn't open the door. I called the police. When the officer arrived and asked for proof of residence, I handed over my deed. Ashley screamed. My mother collapsed onto the lawn. And for the first time in my life, I didn't rescue them. Chapter 8. The fallout. The family took sides. I was labeled heartless, cold, ungrateful. But quietly, cousins reached out. So proud of you, they said. My parents stopped calling. Ashley blocked me. And my house. It felt peaceful again. Chapter 9. The final twist. 6 months later, I got an email. From my father. They were selling their house. Ashley and Mark had moved in with them. And suddenly, they understood. After the police left that Saturday, my driveway was empty again. No U-Haul. No screaming sister. No crying mother. Just tire marks on the concrete and silence. The kind of silence that makes you question whether you did the right thing. I sat on my living room floor for a long time, staring at the front door. My hands were still shaking. My heart felt bruised, like it had been punched from the inside. For the first time, I had chosen myself. And my family had chosen to walk away. Days passed. Then weeks. No calls. No texts. No apologies. At first, it hurt more than I expected. I had always known I was the second daughter, the responsible one, the one who didn't need much. But I hadn't realized how conditional their love was until I refused to be used. Chapter 11. When the truth slips out. I found out what was really happening through my Aunt Linda. She called me late one night, whispering like someone might overhear. Your parents are struggling, she said. I didn't respond. They moved Ashley's family into their house, she continued. All 5 of them, it's chaos. I closed my eyes. Mark still wasn't working. Ashley had quit her part-time job to focus on the kids. My parents were paying for groceries, utilities, school supplies, everything. They didn't think it would be this hard, my aunt said. I almost laughed. They thought I would absorb all of that. In my house. On my dime. Without my consent. For the first time, I didn't feel guilty. I felt relieved. Chapter 12. The narrative they told about me. Of course, they told everyone their version. I was cold, brainwashed by money, too American now, forgetful of family values. Ashley told relatives I called the cops on her children. She forgot to mention she tried to move into a house that wasn't hers. I stayed quiet. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. Because something interesting happens when you stop explaining. People start noticing the truth on their own. Chapter 13. The cracks begin to show. 3 months later, my father showed up at my door. He looked older, smaller. I didn't invite him in. "I just want to talk," he said. We stood on the porch. "Living together isn't working," he admitted. "Ashley and Mark argue constantly. The kids are out of control." I nodded. He sighed. "You were always so organized, so calm, we thought." He stopped. "Thought what?" I asked. "That you'd handle it better." There it was. They didn't choose Ashley because they loved her more. They chose me because they thought I'd carry the weight without complaint. "I'm not your solution," I said quietly. He left without arguing. Chapter 14. Karma doesn't knock, it moves in. A month later, my mother called. Crying. They were behind on the mortgage. Mark had borrowed money from them without asking. Ashley was furious they were interfering with her parenting. And suddenly, my parents felt unappreciated. I listened. Then I said something I had never said before. "I can't help you." She was stunned. "You won't help us?" she asked. "No," I said, "I can't." And for once, I meant it. Chapter 15. The house they lost. 6 months after the failed move-in, my aunt sent me a message. "Your parents are selling their house." I stared at my phone. They couldn't afford it anymore. Ashley and Mark had nowhere else to go. And suddenly, the family meeting they once held without me was being repeated, this time without any good options. My parents moved into a small 2-bedroom rental. Ashley's family bounced between relatives. And for the first time in my life, no one blamed me. Chapter 16. The apology I never expected. A year later, my mother asked to meet. We sat in a quiet cafe. She looked nervous. "We were wrong," she said. "Not sorry. Not forgive us. But wrong." She admitted they had assumed my success made me expendable. That because I didn't struggle publicly, they thought I didn't struggle at all. "I didn't realize how much you gave up," she whispered. I didn't cry. I had already mourned the parents I wished I had. Chapter 17. Ashley's final move. Ashley never apologized. But she did send one message. "Must be nice choosing yourself." I stared at it for a long time. Then replied, "It is." She blocked me again. And I didn't feel a thing. Chapter 18. The life I built without permission. Today, I still live in my house. The maple tree is taller now. I repainted the living room. Adopted a dog. Turned the guest room into a studio just for me. No one lives here without my consent. No one calls it family property. Because it is. It's proof. Proof that boundaries are not cruelty. Proof that love without respect is manipulation. Proof that sometimes snapping isn't losing control. It's taking it back. Final line, viral ending. They thought my $350,000 home belonged to the family. What they didn't realize was, I was done paying for their choices.